streaming. And hopefully all of this is working just as it should. Everybody's. Alright. I got the green light here from YouTube, so let's do it. Hello, 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 everybody. Valerie Lewis right here, coming to you live from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. And today we are talking about Chapter 10 of The Science of Getting Rich. And we're going into how to, further use of the will. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about Chapter 9, where we were just being introduced to how to use the will. Some of the really big, important recaps that I got from it is, you never want to impose your will on somebody else, okay, even if it's for their own good, in your opinion. All right, so hey, I'm seeing Mike is on. Good morning. Hello, hello, right on time. Oh, and let me just say before we get into this chapter, if you're brand spanking new and this is the first time ever that you're seeing me on YouTube, hello and welcome to you. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, because we got a lot more great content coming your way to help you be able to start, build, improve your business. Okay, so this is one of them. I've started this my Vows Business Builder Book Club in order to further help you out with that, because mindset is definitely going to be something very important as you continue along your journey for creating the life that you want. It always starts up here, anything you're looking to do. So now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm grabbing my book. Hopefully you got your book. And if you need a free copy, look inside of the description box. I will be sure to put that in there for you. As a matter of fact, let me make sure it's in there, because I don't think I had put it in there. Alright. So, just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and plant that in here now, so that everybody can get their copy. I don't know why that was there like that. I'll fix this later. Boom. Well, at least you got it. Okay. So now we can dive right in. Okay. So, further use of the will. He starts off, y'all know I love his starting paragraphs. You cannot retain a true and a clear vision of wealth if you are constantly turning your attention to opposing pictures, whether they be external or imaginary. Do not tell of your past troubles of a financial nature. If you have had them, do not think of them at all. Do not tell of the poverty of your parents or the hardships of your early life. To do any of these things is to mentally class yourself with the poor for the time being, and it will certainly check the movement of things into your direction. Let the dead bury their dead, as Jesus said. Put poverty and all things that pertain to poverty completely behind you. Okay, so I noticed that people have this issue with various situations, circumstances in their lives, myself included. Sometimes we will go through an experience of hurt, pain, anger, frustration, resentment, and as we move from our past into our present and looking ahead towards the future, we actually pack all that up, put it in a nice pretty suitcase, and bring it along. And we say, oh, that's what defines me. No, you get to define yourself at any moment, any juncture, any time that you want to make a decision to be different or do something different, you can. And unfortunately, we're told, oh, you're always going to be like this, or oh, well, you're like this because your parents are like this. No, you get to make a decision to be different. So that's a really good point. I'm glad he put that in the very beginning. And that's true. Let the dead bury their dead. When you think about how we always talk about, you generally are or become the people that you spend the most time with, the people that you surround yourself with, your inner circle. So think about who your inner circle is. You know, if you are looking to start your online business, you might have to do like me and get rid of all your old friends because they just don't see the vision. They don't need to see the vision. It's your vision, not theirs. You know, but if all they want to talk about is, oh, well, politics is the reason why I can't move forward in my life, or oh, well, you know, it's the neighborhood that I grew up in is a reason why I can't move forward in my life. Child, you can move. Like, why you still there? You know, so you can't physically stay in the same place, but you also can't mentally stay in the same place. You're going to have to make a decision that you are putting that behind you, and you have to make that decision each and every day, because sometimes, I can tell you from my own personal experience, sometimes you will find yourself thinking on those things, and what you're doing is essentially putting yourself right back in to where you didn't want to be. And that's nobody's fault but yours. You've got nobody to hold accountable for that except you. And all you have to do is make the decision to not even entertain the idea. Okay? All right. So he goes on to say, you have accepted a certain theory of the universe as being correct, and they are resting all of your hopes of happiness on its being correct. And what can you gain by giving heed to conflicting theories? Right? So what you're learning in this book, some of these concepts you are already familiar with. Some of these concepts you probably had no idea about. Okay? But now that you have them, you want to hold on to the new and you want to get rid of the old. You cannot let both live in the same house. Okay? You can't have dirty and clean. It's either dirty or it's clean. You know what I'm saying? There's no in between. So it's the same thing with your thinking. You're either going to have that stinking thinking or you're going to have that positive outlook on your life. Which one do you want? Okay? And when people talk about, you know, when I'm talking to coaching clients and they're like, well, how fast can I start, having success? As fast as you want. How much effort are you going to put in? How much belief are you going to put into this? When you make up your mind about that, I mean, I've seen my own personal mentor. I've watched her growth, and within less than a 3-year period of time, not only did she hit her goal of helping at least 30 people her first year, she did well over that. Not only did she hit the 6-figure mark within the first 12 months, she did that. Then she was by her 3rd year, she was over $300,000 just from one stream of income. Not only did she do that, she also hit her goal of wanting to buy a brand new Mercedes-Benz, which was her dream car. She did that in the first year. Not only that, she fixed her credit in the first and second years. And about halfway through, no, early on in the second year, credit was built up enough, cash flow was built up enough for her to be able to have her custom home, her dream home, built from scratch. And here we are into year 3, and she has moved into that house in the neighborhood that she wanted, put her child in a good school, and kabam. Okay, so in 3 years, that's a lot. Some people have been trying to do that for 20 years. Okay, and they have not purchased their own home yet. They're still renting. They are still working for less than what they're worth, and it's a lot. But you could do that. I'm seeing it all the time online. I've hit goals that if you had asked me a year or two before, I'd be like, that'd be really difficult to do, and yet I did it with ease. So you just have to have your mind set on the right things. Okay, right believing leads to right living. Okay, so he goes on to say, and here's where it's going to sting some people: do not read religious books which tell you that the world is soon coming to an end, and do not read the writing of muckrakers in this muckrakers in this pessimistic pessimistic philosophers who tell you that it is going to the devil. Okay, the world is not going to the devil, it is going to God. It is wonderful becoming. Okay, so true, there may be a good many things in existing conditions which are disagreeable, But what is the use of studying those things when they are certainly passing away? And when the study of them only tends to check their passing and keep them with us. So why give time and attention to the things which are being removed by evolutionary growth when you can hasten their removal only by promoting the evolutionary growth as far as your part of it goes? So no matter how horrible and seeming may be the conditions in certain countries, sections, or places, you waste your time and you destroy your own chances by considering them. You should interest yourself in the world's becoming rich. Think of the riches the world is coming into instead of the poverty it's growing out of. And bear in mind that the only way in which you can assist the world in growing rich is by growing rich yourself through the creative method, not the competitive one. Give your attention wholly to riches and ignore poverty. And whenever you think or speak of those who are poor, think and speak of them as those who are becoming rich, those who are to be congratulated rather than pitied. Then they and others will catch the inspiration and begin to search for the way out. Because I say that you are to give your whole time and mind to the thought of riches, it does not follow that you are to be sordid or mean. Okay? To become really rich is the noblest aim you can have in life, for it includes everything else. Okay, so let's go over this, because when it comes to this part, I'm totally understanding what he's saying. Hopefully you are too. And if not, just go back over it again or post a question or whatever you may have inside of the comments here. But I'm getting, the fact that when it's something that you are passionate about, that you're looking to do, just like he talked about in previous chapters, right? Then that is where you want to put your focus. Okay, so same kind of example. If you are totally against, going to war, then you wouldn't focus on being anti-war, anti-war, anti-war. Stop focusing on what you're against. Focus on the things that you're for, right? And be pro-peace, pro-peace, pro-peace. And it's the same thing when it comes to poverty versus riches. Stop saying you're against poverty, against poverty, against poverty. Start saying you are for riches, for riches, for riches. Are you getting it? Okay. So, and even when you come across someone who is in a situation that seems bleak and that seems like they're poor, or even when you come across a person with a poverty mindset, instead of feeling bad for them and saying, oh, it's okay. No, it is not okay. Don't say it's okay, because all you're doing is enabling that person to continue to stay in that wretched state. Right? So instead, you want to focus on saying, you know what, congratulations to you, because where you are right now is the starting point for you to create your riches. It is the way for you to start creating a path up out of here into the life that you want. For you, this is plenty of lifetime left for you to start making changes and making sure that you can finally live your dream. What are your dreams? Congratulations, because if you have been suppressing them all this time and feeling bad and feeling depressed about the fact that you haven't hit the accomplishments that you wanted to, congrats. Today is the day that you get to make a decision that it's time for a change, and you are going to put some steps in action for you to come on up out of this mess. See how much of a difference that is? That's inspiring. Not, oh, I feel so bad for you, I hope one day things get better. No, that doesn't help anybody. Okay? All right, so awesome. So let's see. Let's get on back down here. Yeah. And then now he's going to show you about competitive versus the creative, right? So we were just talking about doing this on a creative plane. This is not about take from someone else. This is not about race to the top so you get there before other people because there's a scarce amount of success and wealth. No, no, no. You are going to create this. You are going to partner up. You're going to join forces with that higher power, that formless intelligent substance, right? And you're going to create. Totally different than trying to, grab it while you can and all this kind of foolishness where things are going to be temporal. You don't want that. Okay, so he goes on to say, on the competitive plane, the struggle to get rich is a godless scramble for power over other men. But when we come into the creative mind, all this is changed. All that is possible in the way of greatness and soul unfoldment, of service and lofty endeavor, comes by way of getting rich. All is possible. All is made possible by the use of things. If you lack for physical health, you will find that the attainment of it is conditional on your getting rich. Only those who are emancipated from financial worry and who have means to live a carefree existence and follow hygienic practices can have and retain health. So again, y'all think about it, just like I brought up in a previous videos, when you think about being healthy and everything that entails, right? That includes having healthy food to eat, taking your vitamins and minerals, having clean water to drink, being able to bathe yourself and have good hygiene, take care of your teeth, dental hygiene, exercise well, all of these things. And at some point, you're going to need money to help you maintain this. You need money to go to the grocery store and buy the healthy foods. Maybe you are all about organic. Well, we all know organic costs more than just, the regular old that has the preservatives and has the hormones in it and all that stuff that you're trying to avoid, right? So it's things like that. You will need to be able to have riches. And even this, a lot of people these days who say, well, money isn't everything, they're the ones that's getting up, going to work every day just for that paycheck. Not because they're passionate about what they do at their job, not because they are, leading a movement or doing anything to enrich the world and enhance their lives. They're doing it for the paycheck. Oh, well, at least it pays the bills. And they say that. They will tell you that. So how is money not everything, and you getting up, going to work to a place that you hate, around people that you don't even like, every day, the majority of your life, for what? For money, for the paycheck. Why are you doing that? Okay? So also, hold on, you guys, I'm sorry. Okay. So also, even when they're doing that, a lot of people are stressed out about their money because they're going to work and they are earning wages. They're going to work and they're earning wages, which is considerably less than what they need to be able to survive and pay their bills, and people that are living paycheck to paycheck and things like that. And that stresses them out. And then stress causes illnesses, diseases. Oh no, now you need a doctor. Now you need to pay for the prescription for the medication and the anxiety pills and all this kind of stuff, right? So it's just a vicious cycle when you try to focus on obtaining riches in a godless way, which is the competitive way. Okay, think about this. Like, here's another great example. When you think about David and his brothers, right? By any other means, any of those other brothers that are older should have been, could have been, were a better fit for the crown, but he had already been chosen. It was for him. There was nothing they could do about it. No amount of work, no amount of effort that they could have put in, because it was for him. And they were able to have their success in their own right, in their own way. They didn't have to worry about how David got what he got. Same thing with Joseph, right? He was destined for greatness. He knew that from the time he was very young, through his dreams and dream interpretation. And no matter how hard they tried to keep him down, he still emerged to the top. Cream of the crop, right? The cream always rises. And that's what happened for him, even though, there were forces against him. So it's the same thing for you. If you stop focusing on the godless way and stop focusing on being competitive all the time and trying to take from somebody else or be above somebody else and better than somebody else, and instead you focus on you and your connection with God, and you start creating with him, you'll be able to create whatever you want. You'll be able to have those riches. You'll be able to be healthy. You'll be able to be wealthy. You'll be able to be wise. You'll be able to, let's go into this part. with the moral and the spiritual, right? So that's in the next paragraph. Moral and spiritual greatness is possible only to those who are above the competitive battle for existence. And this is why a lot of people have that conflict inside. They may not admit it, but they have this internal conflict of, well, I get up, I go to church every week, but then when I turn around on Monday and I go to work, like, I've got to do all these things that I really don't want to do, but somebody's got to do it, and at least I'm getting paid for it. And it's all these conflicting issues on the inside, where when you could actually go and create what you want. You ain't got to answer to nobody to get no check. You can write your own check. That's what I did. Okay, so that's all you got to do. So if y'all want to know more about that, y'all have to look in the description box. But anyway, yes, so he says, only those who are above the competitive battle for existence. And let's see. It's possible only to those who are above the competitive battle for existence, and only those who are becoming rich on the plane of creative thought are free from the degrading influences of competition. So if your heart is set on domestic happiness, remember that love flourishes best where there is refinement, a high level of thought, and freedom from corrupting influences. Okay, and these are to be found only where riches are attained by the exercise of creative thought without strife or rivalry. So, you can aim at nothing so great or noble, I repeat, as to become rich, and you must fix your attention upon your mental picture of riches to the exclusion of all that may tend to dim or obscure the vision. So remember this, okay? You must learn to see the underlying... Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why there's all this noise. Like, I'm trying. Hold on. We'll just wait. While I'm live. That's great. Okay, so you can aim at nothing so great or noble, I repeat, as to become rich. Fix your attention on these mental pictures of riches. Okay, get rid. It's almost like when you're in a garden and you've got weeds in that garden. Hello, somebody. I got weeds right now. You got weeds in your garden. You need to get rid of those. You can't, like, let those exist in your garden and then attempt to plant good seeds in the garden. The weeds are going to kill it before it even gets a chance to exist and sprout through the ground. So you definitely need to make sure that... Sorry. You definitely need to make sure... I'm sorry, you guys. We'll just wait again. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that when you're doing this, that you get rid of all... It's the same thing mentally. You have to get rid of all of these negative thoughts and ideas, the resentment, the jealousy, the competitiveness, the hurt, past experiences. Because if you think about it, all that stuff is in the past. So it doesn't even matter anymore. And you today get to make a decision that's going to create your future. Just like all those decisions you made in the past help to bring you where you are today. Whether it was good or bad, you're where you need to be right now. So now that you're here, what are some of the things that you're going to do? What are some of the decisions that you're going to make to get you where you want to be in the future? That's the only things that you really need to focus on. What can you do now that paints that picture? What can you do now that opens up that pathway? Okay? All right. So he goes on to say, you must learn to see the underlying truth, the truth in all things, and you must see beneath all seemingly wrong conditions the great one life ever moving forward towards fuller expression and more complete happiness. It is the truth that there is no such thing as poverty, that there is only wealth. Okay, so you have to remember, when people are like, okay, well, I'm looking around, I see poverty around. No, you see people who have denied their wealth. difference. And when you start looking at it like that, it's like, well, who would do that? The people that aren't believing that they can have it. It's not that they can't have it. They don't believe they can have it. Don't believe me? Go test the theory. Go speak with someone who is in poverty right now and see if they're talking about, yes, I'm so excited. This is temporary. I can't wait. The riches are on the way. That's not the conversation you're going to have. Okay. All right. So, and he even goes into that. Some people remain in poverty because they're ignorant of the fact that there is wealth for them. And these can be best taught by showing them the way to affluence in your own person and practice. So others are poor because while they feel that there may be a way out, right, they are too intellectually indolent to put forth the mental effort necessary to find that way and travel by it. And for these, the very best thing you can do is to arouse their desire by showing them the happiness that comes from being rightly rich. Others still are poor because while they have some notion of science, they have become so swamped and lost in the maze of metaphysical and occult theories that they do not know which road to take. They try a mixture of many systems and they fail in all. For these, again, the very best thing to do is to show the right way in your own person and practice. An ounce of doing things is worth a pound of theorizing. Just take action. Just go do something, okay? The very best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. You can serve God and man in no more effective way than by getting rich. That is, if you get rich by the creative method and not by the competitive one. Another thing, we assert that this book gives in detail the principles of the science of getting rich. And if that is true, you do not need to read any other book upon the subject. This may sound narrow and egotistical, but consider there is no more scientific method of computation in mathematics than by addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? No other method possible. All right. So even when you're looking at like exponents and all that kind of stuff, it's still just another form of multiplication. Hello, somebody. Okay. So same type of thing. There can be but one shortest distance between 2 points. There's only one way to think scientifically, and that is to think in the way that leads to the most direct and simple route to the goal. No man has yet formulated a briefer or less complex system than the one set forth herein. It has been stripped of all non-essentials. When you commence on this, lay all others aside, put them out of your mind altogether. Read this book every day. Keep it with you, commit it to memory, and do not think about other systems and theories. If you do, you'll begin to have doubts, and you'll be uncertain and wavering in your thought, and then you'll begin to make failures. So after you have made good and become rich, you may study other systems as much as you please, but until you are quite sure that you have gained what you want, do not read anything on this line but this book, unless it be authors mentioned in the preface. Okay, he told y'all. So and read only the most optimistic comments on the world's news, those in harmony with your picture. Also, postpone your investigations into the occult. Don't even dabble in that. Don't go into that. Don't go into theosophy, spiritualism, or kindred studies, because it's very likely that the dead still live and are near. But if they are, let them alone. Mind your own business. Oh God, I love that part. Okay, so wherever the spirits of the dead may be, they have their own work to do and their own problems to solve, and we have no right to interfere with them. We cannot help them, and it is very doubtful that they can help us, or whether we have any right to trespass upon their time if they can. Let the dead and the hereafter alone, and solve your own problem. Get rich. I love that. Okay, so whatever your views are on, life after death and all that kind of stuff, and communicating with and all of that, look, he gets right down to the point. Okay, listen, you reading this book to get rich. Go get rich. Okay, because your life here right now is what you need to be focused on. You don't need to be focused on everybody else. Then listen, if you're not going to be in a competitive mode with people here living on earth with you right now, why you going to then go and look to the dead? You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it, Wallace. I'm with you. Okay. So, let's see. Oh my God, that was so funny. Where are we? If you begin to mix with the occult, you will start mental cross currents, which will surely bring your hopes to shipwreck. Now, this and the preceding chapters have brought us to the following statement of basic facts. So let me bring this up again for you guys. But he's actually going to add on some more. But I just wanted you a recap because we did talk about this when he first introduced it. Where are those laws? Okay. So we're putting this up again. Okay. So there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. Right? So we talked about that. We also talked about this one, right? A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. Right? So we talked about that. And then we also talked about this. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be creative. Okay, but now there's a little bit more we're going to add on to these things. Okay, so in order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants, and hold this picture in his thoughts with the fixed purpose to get what he wants, and the unwavering faith that he does get what he wants, closing his mind against all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. In addition to this, we shall now see that he must live and act in a certain way, which is our next chapter that we're going to bring up tomorrow. Acting in a certain way is going to be chapter 11. But listen, you guys, that is so true. You are going to want to close your mind against anything that may tend to shake your purpose, dim your vision, or quench your faith. Okay, so as you're moving forward, you are going to have people, if you come across people that are trying to, discourage you from starting that home business, it's time to not talk to them for a while. You don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to, totally cut them out of your lives or anything, but you at least need to not talk to them for a few months. Get yourself together first and get yourself in a position where you're learning the right skill sets. You're surrounded by the right people that actually know, about this industry and can help you. Because this is what kills me. People that don't know about stuff are always the first ones to talk about it. What you gonna do? You don't know anything about this, right? Okay, so stop. Okay. So don't invite that into your life. Okay. People that don't want you to live your vision, it's because they dimmed their vision a long time ago, right? They've suppressed it so deep they done forgot what it is. Okay, and God doesn't want that for you. He has created you with a desire in your heart, because that desire in your heart is the very thing that's going to help you get rich and help you to enjoy life to the fullest, mind, body, and soul. That's why it's there. He designed you a certain way for a reason. Hello. So now it's time for us to start thinking and acting in that certain way so we can tap into that and live the life that he's designed for us, instead of that one that you done designed for yourself. Look where that got you. You know what I'm saying? I have had to say that to me. When I start getting nervous about taking the next step in my business, I'm like, okay, well, some of the decisions you made on your own without impressing your thoughts on the Lord, well, look where it got you. So do you want to keep going that route, or you want to go a different route? It's time to take a new step, So that's been the case for me. And also, definitely don't let it shake your purpose. Don't let a bunch of things start distracting you, and then your mind is focused on all these other things and you have shiny ball syndrome. Think about what it is you want, the reason why you started the particular business that you did, and use that as the vehicle to get you where you want to go. You're never going to get anywhere, right? Let's say I'm here in the DC area. I want to go to Orlando, and I get in my car to drive there. Right? What I need to help me get there is not another car for me to keep getting out of this car, get in the other car, drive a little bit, get out of that car, walk back to the car I was in before, get in that one, and then drive a little bit. This is going to take me forever to get where I want to go. So that's not it. I don't need a bunch of cars. I need the one car, and what I need is a map. I need a compass. I need a GPS, okay? I don't need several cars. So for those of you that are, you're building your business and you keep, oh no, here's another opportunity, I don't want to miss out on it. You don't need a bunch of cars, right? You don't need a bunch of businesses. The business is the vehicle to help you get where you want to go in life. And to be honest with you, right now, you just need one. Once that starts to get you towards that destination, and it's at a point that you don't have to focus as much attention on it as you did in the beginning, that's when you can add on another stream of income. But until then, don't try to stack all of this stuff up. Put all these eggs in a basket that is not sturdy, and then all your eggs break. You don't want that, okay? So that's why you want to stay focused on your purpose, keep the faith, and do not let anyone or anything dim your vision. Just imagine if Joseph had done that. He would not have ended up being second in command to the Pharaoh and being in charge of all of Egypt when he wasn't even Egyptian. Hello, somebody. Boom. And he went through a lot of pitfalls. Every time he made it to the top, somebody tried to knock him back down again with lies, deception. Oh my God, it was terrible. But it did not stop him from living his purpose, because he never took his mind off the purpose and off having the faith. It's your turn. Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I will catch you tomorrow for chapter 11, when we learn how to start to act in the certain way. So let me go ahead and take this off. I forgot that was still up here. All right, you guys, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, guys.